Hey folks, Dave Domzalski here. Welcome to Dad Devotionals. I want to tell you today about circumstance in my life. I alluded to it in the last episode, but it comes down to waiting on God and my unwillingness to always just give over circumstances in my life to Him and rather try to strong arm them and make my will His will rather than the other way around. And it happened actually just yesterday where I had an answer to a prayer that I've been praying really for about a decade and a half, and that is to get out of accounting and just have an opportunity in something that's more conducive to my skill set. And I was able to do that in the organization that I'm in right now, move from the auditing and accounting area into uh, public relations, or in this case, public affairs. And it allows me to use my writing, it allows me to use my speaking ability, it allows me to use communications, and it's just very different than what I've been accustomed to over the last decade and a half. And it didn't happen without a lot of prayer. It didn't happen without God's intervening, and I know that now. And I knew it along the way, but I wasn't willing to be patient. And when you're not patient with the Lord and you try to lean on your own understanding, the scripture's pretty clear about that and what happens to somebody that does that. And I was met with a lot of anger and strife and bitterness, and my wife can attest to the fact that I wasn't always the most pleasant person to be around. And I set the table here for our reading today from Isaiah, which I think speaks to this well. And especially in our present circumstances with COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, I think we need to remember that our strength at the end of the day doesn't come from a government stimulus check. It doesn't come from our jobs. It comes to a point from those around us, but even we got to remember that we live in a fallen world with sinful individuals. Our strength comes from God. And, I tell you that as somebody that is imperfect in my reliance on Him. So I'm not telling you this as if it's easy or as if I haven't had my own struggles with it. But just keep that in mind as I read to you from Isaiah right now. To whom then will you liken God? Or what likeness will you compare to Him? The workman molds an image, the goldsmith overspreads it with gold, and the silversmith casts silver chains. Whoever is too impoverished for such a contribution chooses a tree that will not rot. He seeks for himself a skillful workman to prepare a carved image that will not totter. Have you not known? Have you not heard? Has it not been told to you from the very beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is He who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. He brings the princes to nothing, he makes the judges of the earth useless. Scarcely shall they be planted, scarcely shall they be sown, scarcely shall their stock take root in the earth, when He will also blow on them, and they will wither, and the whirlwind will take them away like stubble. To whom then will you liken me, or to whom shall I be equal, says the Holy One? Lift up your eyes on high, and see who has created these things, who brings out their host by number. He calls them all by name. By the greatness of His might and the strength of His power, not one is missing. Why do you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord, and my just claim is passed over by my God? Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, He increases strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. They shall walk and not faint. They shall run and not grow weary, because they are relying and being upheld by the Lord. Remember that today. Remember that for the rest of this week. And as we continue in this Lenten season, obviously we're not going to be at our respective churches for Pascha, but hopefully you found something online by now that you can at least partake in the services with. And I think this is where our priest, Father David, would really emphasize creating that church at home. And I know he has in his emails to us, but creating that church and home, and that church's foundation is prayer, which he said in previous sermons that prayer is movement toward God. So remember that. Pray often, pray unceasingly, and pray that all of us will get out of this with a renewed faith and a strengthened faith, because that's what matters in the end. God bless you all, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm Dave Domzalski. This is Dad Devotionals. Take it easy, and God bless.